mother pluckers? Welcome back to another episode. This is the first interview of the year, by the way.
We're back.
This is the first recording interview of the year. I did 2 unboxings because I haven't had much time. But today we have a very special guest. First, before anybody else, Juan, of course. He lives here. We all know it.
I live here. That corner over there.
He's always here. And we have Steve from Ojo Malo, right? There you go.
Mr. Steve.
Mr. Steve. So Juan told me a lot about you. He did send me some of your stuff. I did check out, like your the YouTube for Ojo Malo, which had a song and live video and stuff like that. Thought it was pretty cool. But I do want to get into it just so that we don't talk. I always tell people we're not gonna talk about the same shit. Yeah. Everybody's always what are your influences?
Oh yeah.
Which is cool. You can fucking tell me all that shit, whatever.
Right.
But first of all, since this is first and foremost a fucking podcast about movies, about music, about all that shit, I want to know your favorite movies, man. Your favorite fucking horror. Who's your slasher? I don't know. Any of that shit. So yeah, let's start it up. So I want to know first because we were talking about Kill Bill.
Right.
Bill, man.
And you were telling me Quentin Tarantino is one of the best.
My favorite. He's definitely my favorite one.
Usually I can tell somebody's personality by what's their favorite Quentin Tarantino movie. So what's your favorite Quentin Tarantino movie?
Oh, that's easy. It's Pulp Fiction.
Yeah, it's mine too.
Yeah.
So we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
That's some good stuff.
Yeah, some of the later ones, he loses a little bit of that. I don't know, that dialogue that I like from the first one, like Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction, where he builds the characters.
He does.
And you can not relate, but you can identify with a certain one or. And
so I feel like Pulp Fiction is almost the same as Reservoir Dogs, but Pulp Fiction has that humor.
Right.
Yeah. Reservoir Dogs does not have that much humor. It's more greedy. Mm-hmm. So I guess he realized that he's you know what, we need more lighthearted moments, maybe more ridiculous kind of things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I was noticing because for the first time ever I showed Kill Bill to my daughter because she's of age now.
Yeah.
Well, she's 14. But I would say it's okay for her to watch Kill Bill. There's no sex.
Right, yeah.
There's no N-words.
Right.
Which is a weird thing for Quentin Tarantino.
That's right, man.
But, I showed her, the movie, and I was realizing that he puts, all the different, styles, depending on, the scene.
Yeah.
So, now that we have HD TVs, I hadn't noticed that, the Pai Mei part looks like an old Japanese movie.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's rainy and stuff.
And he does that shit too in Pulp Fiction.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's riding the car with what's her name? I fucking forget her name because she says her name.
Mia.
No, the taxi driver. When Bruce Willis gets into the taxi.
Yeah.
Because he says it really weird. He says the name really weird.
I know what
I
you're
fucking
saying.
forgot.
Yeah, the taxi
When he jumps out the window.
Yeah.
So, Esmeralda Villalobos. Is that Mexican?
Your name is Spanish, but I'm Colombian.
Some halo you got there, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, but he does that shit they
Yeah.
did before with it's a projection in the back and the car. And
No, he is definitely into that kind of old school B-movie, pulp art kind of.
Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
There's a lot of respect
right.
for old movies,
Yeah.
for sure, man. Yeah.
And those were movies that were a lot of fun. You
Yeah.
know, they were a lot of fun. I was able to catch that in the late '70s at the drive-in theaters.
That's cool, man.
After the drive-in started going down, they stopped playing those major hit movies, and they started playing B movies. So the biker movie,
So they did that shit in
Planet-
Juarez. Back in the day, not because I know you're older, but things in Mexico before the internet, because now we're all kind of together, but before the internet, movies used to come out over there a year later. Sometimes video games.
Yeah.
So for example, my first console was an Atari, even though the Nintendo was already over here.
Yes.
So they did that shit. So I remember when I went to watch The Lion King with my mom, the movies before that was Risa en Vacaciones always.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have known Risa en Vacaciones if it wasn't for shit like that, which are kind of B movies, prank movies.
Uh-huh.
But that was like my, you know, like my B movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Watching El Santo or
Oh yeah.
Y la momia.
or what's his name, Capulina.
Or the India Maria one.
India Maria
was funny. Of course, the Cantinflas, all that stuff was.
All the Chespirito, like
yes.
Chample.
Yeah.
I wonder if they're gonna like cancel like India Maria, cause you know she was.
Nah.
I love it.
Well,
man.
I mean,
It's a different time.
It's a different time, right?
I know. Yeah, you're right, but I don't know. It's become a little sensitive now in the world.
Yeah, it's sensitive.
You know,
it's sensitive.
But it doesn't bother me. I mean, in fact, I'm proud of.
Yeah, I'm
But
so
remember
proud
that
of
they
man.
tried to cancel like a bunch of like Mexican stuff nowadays, and basically like the Mexican community comes out and they're like, we don't care.
We don't care. Yeah.
Speedy Gonzalez.
Yeah,
Speedy Gonzalez
they
was
came
one.
out and they were like, we don't care.
Yeah, it's cool. I mean, you know.
Well, because I saw TikTok where this guy was dressed with a fucking like a mustache, the sarape and the big fucking sombrero, agüero.
Mm.
And he was asking like students, I wouldn't say Gen Z because they were like college, so maybe like around, you know, like so Gen Z, millennials, whatever, in betweeners, but they were all like, oh, like it's offensive because you're like, it's not your culture and all this shit. Yeah. And then he went to Mexican people and they're like, oh, you look beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Like that's just
That sounds cool, man. Yeah, take it as a compliment.
Yeah, because it's like you're representing a Mexican, fuck it, dude.
Right.
So yeah, the only one that I don't like is when güeros tell us like we're lazy and shit. I'm like,
oh yeah,
you guys are fucking lazy.
Yeah, with like holding 3 jobs and so forth.
Exactly.
And fucking working like fucking more than 12-hour days sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly, man. We're trabajadores.
Not me. I'm fucking lazy. I don't care. But I'm disabled. But I know people. that are like super fucking trabajadores.
Yeah.
So just the fact that my dad goes to work in Juarez and he has to be in line for like probably like 7 hours of the day, just because he has to go, there's line, and then he has to come back and there's line. Like that's already
That's awesome.
That's already a lot.
That's already a lot. So
you know, like Steve, you were like a teacher for a lot of years at Bowie and stuff. You had like a lot of students that come from Juarez and stuff, or?
Oh yeah.
It's right there.
Yeah, in fact, if it wasn't for the Juarez kids, they would have closed down Bowie. Oh. It was helping us keep alive.
I always thought it was cool that Chamizal was like right there. It was like the biggest fucking playground.
Yeah, right. Yeah, no, and it was it was a big help, because if you think about it, no new families are moving into a segundo barrio.
Right, yeah.
Right? No. It's just grandma's house, you know, and so forth. So there's no kids. Damn, and so once they started, you know, trying to come up with ideas, and if you remember correctly, at one time, you know, they were saying that they were trying to stop the kids from Juarez to come over.
They were
here. It would have really hurt us a lot. And Jeff.
Well, Lydia Patterson.
Yeah, they would have closed down.
All the Lydia Patterson are from Juarez.
Yeah.
Literally, when we get out, like everybody was walking to the fucking bridge.
Yeah.
Not me, like I lived over here, but I just remember everybody was like, let's go. And then like it was like a big fucking line of just students.
That one and Father Guillermo and all the ones that are around that area would have been affected.
That. Like it's a big part of El Paso.
It is. It's the same. You know, we're just divided by there's a lot of problems.
It's not fucking bad here, because like a lot of people think, like a lot of people from outside of like inside of the United States, they think that it's bad here. Like they think that like, oh, these Mexicans crossing and shit. And like you should fucking know, like, you know, like El Paso is alive and thriving and shit because of
absolutely always has,
because of Chihuahua, because of all the people that come in and spend money over here.
Well, if I remember correctly, when we went through one of our the economy was going down, El Paso was still at the same because we had the shoppers from across.
Man. Coming to Ross and Marshall.
But that's why we're actually the twin cities. The sister cities.
So we are, man, yeah.
So because we fucking live, you know, like vicariously through, like, both of us are like fucking, you know, the same. I feel like Juarez wouldn't how it is if it wasn't for El Paso and the same as
Vice
El
versa,
Paso.
Exactly, man.
But like people from the inside of the United, they don't know, and they think that it's fucking dangerous, and they think that like, and I'm like, I've got it mugged, yeah.
Well,
Segundo barrio, but
How many times have we been voted safest city?
Oh, man, forever, man.
yeah, my brother wanted to be a cop. Thank God he's not a cop, but he wanted to be a cop, and he didn't pick El Paso because he's like, it's fucking boring, dude.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna do shit here.
Well, haven't you seen like when we're on what's that called? Bad Boys Cops.
The life PD.
Yeah, like
You know, and then they show the El Paso one, and it's kind of lame compared to.
It's just drunk people.
You know, it's just
Drunkies.
Little misdemeanors here and there.
yeah.
But this is the thing they say about El Paso. El Paso knows how to party. That's why there's always drunk people.
Well, there's a lot of bars.
But that's what we do.
You know, El Paso.
What else do we do in El Paso? We go to bars, we go to clubs.
Yeah.
It's always drinking.
Go to
Drinking
Juanes.
and eating. It's drinking and eating.
Yeah.
Come on, Dead Beach is like huge now.
huge.
Old Sheepdog, like all the breweries are like. And like
Everything's
people
getting
say like, oh, in Austin, like whatever.
No.
Yeah, okay, but like, nah, man.
We've been doing it for years, man.
I think it's probably because we're Mexican, we can drink a little bit more.
And also, if I remember correctly, at one point, El Paso was the #1 per capita city that had the most strip clubs.
Oh shit! I
Per
didn't know
capita.
that.
A lot of people
For our
came here.
size.
A lot of celebrities came over here to go to the strip club.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, here in Juarez. You know, they would stay here
Well, yeah, Juarez
in the Plaza Hotel. You
And
know,
what is it? Throw the dollars and it's like,
Well, that is.
you know, but you're right. They used to come, stay at the Plaza Hotel. You know, like Elizabeth Taylor,
Oh, yeah.
Steve McQueen.
El Paso.
You know, and they would come, stay there, go party in Juarez,
Well,
go
George
get,
Jefferson
go get
lived here.
married in
Go get
Juarez,
married in
or go
Juarez,
get
man.
divorced in Juarez.
That used
You know,
to be the
Tina
big
Turner
thing.
and Ike Turner, and then come back over, and yeah,
Shit.
Mijares
party
still
here,
lives
party
here.
there.
Mijares?
Yeah, he still lives here.
In here in El Paso or Juarez?
Like, here in El Paso.
Oh wow, man. Shit.
And what was his name? Jefferson? George Jefferson?
George,
He
yeah.
died here?
Yeah.
He was like Eastwood area and stuff.
So there's people that live here. We
Yeah.
just don't know. Maybe we have some others.
No, that,
Because
yeah,
it's really chill here, man. So.
yeah. And then we have, you know, like Las Cruces, and
Oh, Travis Barker came one time and he was just at a
Tornillo.
bar drinking and shit.
Got it all.
and then we have that studio down in Tornillo,
Sonic
Oh, yeah,
Ranch.
yeah.
Sonic Ranch.
So,
So there's always like big celebrities coming down to
yeah.
record there. So
There's something.
no, there's
yeah.
it's pretty
It's a
badass.
special.
I just don't like the Sonic Ranch people that record there that are from here. Because they think their like album's gonna be badass because
just
they
because
went
of
there.
there.
But it's like, bro,
Let's be positive.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
it's a story.
No, now
You still sound like
nowadays,
shit. I just
nowadays with all the technology,
Bro,
that
you can
we
record
have,
with an
we can
iPhone.
record, you know,
Each
some
part
badass.
with an iPhone because it has GarageBand.
Mm.
So you can literally like put the thing and then like record the guitar and then just like do the other, and you can do it all on your phone.
It's all there, man.
Which is how I do my photoshopping on my phone.
Yeah.
Because it's so easy now.
It is. It is.
Yeah, no, there's quality stuff that you can get out of it. Right now, we're in the studio. Right now, we've already recorded 4 songs. We're working on our 5th one right now.
Yes.
In fact, the guys are over there right now working on
Oh,
the
that's cool.
drum tracks.
Sweet, man.
That's why I have an electronic drumstick.
Do you guys record from like your house or like or there?
Well, the guy has his studio in a garage similar to about this size,
Awesome, man.
and incredible. Hector, he runs sound at the Rock House.
Oh, sweet.
And he's an incredible guitarist. He's a guitarist for the Pantera tribute band that we have here.
Oh,
Cowboys from El Paso?
Yeah.
So then you know Eddie Razor.
Yeah, I know.
So
that.
I recorded with Eddie Razor.
Yeah.
Two of our EPs we recorded with
at
Eddie.
at his place.
Yes.
Yeah.
Back
it's a
in the
small
fucking
town,
day.
man. El Paso.
In the Northeast.
Yeah, back in the, and I remember because it was my first time recording. I was probably like 20 something, 25, 24,
Mhm.
and that was my first time
And the
recording.
thing with Eddie though is like no matter what, those drums are gonna sound badass.
But he's a drummer, so
He's a
like
drummer.
I was always a drummer, but I had a no, it wasn't shitty. It was just a was it a DW? But it was like $600. Like that was my fucking, and it sounded good. just the snare was a little like meh. But I remember like the first, he was telling me like to do all the sound check and shit, and then get the snare.
That takes hours.
But then he went like on the thing, on the speaker, and he's like, bro, here's snare sound. I'm like, shit. And I was like, oh, but he's like, I'll fucking let you borrow one of mine. So on our first EP, it's Eddie's snare. But then, like the second EP that we were gonna do, and we went, my mentor, the guy that like taught me how to fucking play drums, which was my dad's drummer for his band back in the day, he gave me like a 1970 something, I fucking forgot what year, Ludwig fucking snare.
Oh.
And it came in a case and all this shit. And when I brought it like to the studio, cause like I changed it for that one, Eddie was like, bro, your fucking snare is fucking amazing, dude. And he was like, fuck,
That's the one.
and I still have that snare because it's fucking worth a lot of money. But yeah, the second EP I recorded with that one, and I remember like I documented the whole thing. It's on YouTube. But
Yeah, I've recorded with Eddie at this place.
Eddie's a cool guy.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I like it.
Yeah.
But that's cool, dude. So you guys are doing a record, or it's
Yeah, we're doing a full length. We're doing 8 songs.
8 songs.
Yeah.
8 songs?
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Like 5 minutes longer, like the songs, or like usually like more metal, right? Or they're a little shorter.
I don't know. I think our songs range between 3:45 to like 4:15.
There you go.
So what do you guys do? Like, do you guys? Because everybody does the same fucking formula, which of course is verse, chorus, bridge, chorus. You know? Do you guys always usually do bridges and shit like that, solos, stuff like that? Well, not really.
I would say yeah.
Or however
but,
it flows.
But I mean, we're heavily inspired. Oh, I'm not supposed to talk about that. Huh?
No, yeah.
We're heavily inspired by Black Sabbath, so we do a lot of like different interludes and we do the chorus verse, but not in order.
Yeah,
We just a couple of 2 verses here, and so forth, and just change it up a little.
Because bands like Opeth, for example, it's like verse. And they're like, there's no fucking chorus. And it's a verse that lasts like 30 minutes.
Forever.
My one of my best friends went to see them in concert, and they played like 4 songs for like 3 hours. They're like, and people are just like, because it's just progressive.
Right.
not Ojo Malo, man. Honestly, I saw YouTube, like, geez.
Did you see it?
Yes, sir. It's, badass music, man.
There's some other ones there. We have a friend, Jams. He has a studio that he's gonna open up. Strange Days, I believe.
Oh.
Anyways, he's the one that's been taking video of us lately.
Awesome.
And he was Dimebag Darrell's best friend in Dallas.
Oh.
So he has all this memorabilia of Pantera and personalized stuff.
Right now, that's
He lives here in El Paso.
back.
He lives here now in El Paso.
Oh,
yeah.
sweet, man. Jeez.
Yeah.
It goes to show.
The drummer from Anthrax is playing with Pantera right now.
Yeah.
And Zach Wilde.
Mhm.
Zach Wilde.
I would like to go.
Yeah.
I would. I mean, I know there's a lot of talk about like, or.
But how the
whatever.
fuck are you gonna get them? They're dead. It's like
Yeah, I mean, this is the
this is the
second best thing.
Yeah, like I mean, like still Phil is there,
Right.
I think Rex left.
No, he just left for a little bit because he.
Okay, so he's
he
back.
had
There.
the-
Okay, so that's good because I was like that. It'd be just Phil.
I know. Just call it.
No, but Phil is a voice, and he has a great voice. And
Now, I do like it from what I've heard. I just wish that Zach would have kind of conformed more to Dimebag style.
well, they said
than-
I
than
heard the interview.
keep with puro. I mean, because it sounds like Zach Wilde playing Dimebag.
But I heard the. Oh, sorry. Fuck, man. I heard the interview with Chris Jericho interviewed the dude from Anthrax. I forget his fucking
Chris.
name. Yeah, because he's not that like big with like a lot of people, but he's a good drummer. He's fucking
Yeah. Hell yeah.
But he was having an interview, and the same guitar tech that was the Dimebag's guitar tech is the one doing it for Zach Wilde. So Zach did ask for like the same exact specifications to Dimebag's like sound, like the guitar and shit. And then him, the drummer, he asked for like triggers on his drums so that they sound exactly like Vinny's.
Yeah.
So he said it himself. He's like, yeah, I'm gonna play like I play, but it'll sound like Vinny. So like at least, you know, it'll be that the sound is like we sound the same instead of like oh that's Anthrax fucking drummer.
Right. And I get it. I understand both sides of the coin, but I just wish he would have.
Zach Wild is Zach Wild. So
yeah.
You can't fucking.
Yeah, and I've seen Zach Wild in some tribute to Jimi Hendrix concert, and there was a whole bunch of guitarists. There was Zappa was there. He did a couple of songs. Zach Wild, and some of the blues guys, Johnny Lang. Anyways, so they all did like 2 or 3 Jimi Hendrix songs, and Zach Wild came out and he sounded like Zach Wild.
It's better than if he would have come out and he had like everything dyed black and shit, trying to look like Dimebag or something. You know what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
No, Zach Wild is his own thing. So like basically, you know, I know he has Black Label Society, and you know, being the fucking guitarist for Ozzy for the longest fucking time. But like, and he always has that chip on his shoulder too that he's not Randy Rhoads. Because everybody
that was his idol.
But it's the thing, like a lot of people are like, I don't like Ozzy anymore. Randy Rhoads not there. Even Ozzy's like that sometimes. Because Ozzy will be like, I miss Randy Rhoads. I saw a video where they showed him, what was it? Was it Crazy Train? I think Jack showed him Crazy Train, but like, they separated all the things, because he found the masters.
Yeah.
And he's like, come to the studio, we're going to listen to it like in parts. And he was fucking crying because he was listening to Randy Rhoads, just the guitar and shit. And he was like, it's so amazing, like I miss him and shit. And I'm like, bro, like, he's been dead for what? Like fucking 50 years? It's been a while. I feel like Ozzy's like 130 years old.
He looks it, man. He does,
Jack is doing a lot of cool shit for him before he goes, man. Because he even showed him that McDonald's band, Max Sabbath.
Oh, yeah. And we just played with them here.
Oh, that's fucking. I love that band.
They were awesome, man.
They're fucking awesome, though.
Yeah, we opened up for them at the Rock House.
Yeah, my Iron Pan.
I am Frying Pan.
Frying Pan.
Yeah.
And he has a little grill.
Yes. Yeah, and then you know how like Ozzy would throw like buckets of water, you know, at the audience. He would do that, but like with confetti and stuff like that.
Nice.
But it was badass.
Well, instead of like the bat, no, it's in a burger too or some shit.
And their merchandise was badass.
Awesome.
Watch their videos. Max Sabbath is awesome.
And they're from
England.
From England.
Yeah.
They're over there from
They're legit.
Yeah, they're legit.
How was the turnout when you guys had them?
It was decent. It was like on a Wednesday.
They're not like very known.
But still, like, man, I don't know. I was gonna be there either way because Black Sabbath is. Too, so. Yeah, but Black Sabbath is my favorite band, so anything associating with that.
So what's something newer, like, because like I know it's really hard for me, like growing right now, you know, like almost being 40, whatever. It's hard for me to find new shit that I really like.
Music wise,
yeah.
My gosh,
I do find
so
new
much.
shit, but. It's hard for me to not go back to the shit that I used to listen to. Right now I'm kind of in a block because I'm trying to just listen to 80s music, but because I told them I'm doing a project where I'm trying to write a soundtrack for a movie that doesn't exist, but like an 80s movie.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just trying to get into that mindset of like 80s, like Phil Collins, you know, doing even the newer ones, Kavinsky, Rob. Doing all the synth stuff, Duran Duran, fucking, you know.
Well, there's a whole huge subgenre just based around Black Sabbath.
Well, I mean, of course.
It's called stoner, doom, stoner rock, desert metal, stoner metal, stoner doom, all that stuff. It's all based coming from the Black Sabbath. Yeah, and there's a whole bunch. You know, like there's Death and Roll, which is like death metal and rock and roll. It's called Death and Roll. There's all sorts of really cool subgenres that they're starting to put together. Yeah. But like,
So what are some of the bands?
Well, what I'm listening to right now is things like Electric Wizard. Sleep is one of my favorite bands. Clutch, badass.
So Clutch is like from the Bam Margera School of Rock, dude.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people like Clutch because I remember we met.
They're cool.
I presented you to some guy that liked Clutch also. He's an older guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you guys were talking about it and stuff. I was like, that's one of the bands, man,
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've been around for a while.
They've been around for a while, and they've evolved their sound. But what they had in the last maybe 10 years is really awesome stuff.
Because I still listen to some of that old shit, like, because Clutch was there. There's another band called Violent Door. Ooh,
Violent Thor is badass. Straight up rock and roll. We opened up for Violent Thor with another band. I don't want to mention their names.
That's fine.
But we at the Mesa Inn.
Yeah.
We saw Valiant. I mean, we played with Valiant Thor there.
What a loss the Mesa Inn was, man.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Back in the van days.
That was a cool.
When like a lot of bands that like showed up in just a van, like they weren't in a tour bus. It was a fucking van.
Yeah,
the van.
Because I saw CKY and they were in a van.
Oh, there at Mesa Inn.
But like people were like, "Where's Bam?" And they're like, "It's CKY."
And if I remember correctly, they were passing through here, which a lot of them do. They just El Paso on by.
Yeah.
But they'll play a show.
Well, no, not really.
Death by Stereo did.
Yeah.
We fucking promoted the shit out of that show that like we just pulled out of our ass because we were like, "You guys are here. We'll play a show. Let's do it." Fuck it.
But they were passing on by, going to South by Southwest.
Oh, okay. Yeah, not a lot of people.
So a lot of people stop by and play here on their way over there. And then there's there's those stoner rock festivals. There's a big one that happened. There's two big ones that happen in Austin, and bands from all over, they're stopping by here. That's who we've been opening up for on their way to play those festivals in Austin. Yeah.
That's Austin for sure.
Austin has a lot of music.
Yeah.
So like if you just walk through 6th Street, there was, I don't know if now, but you would always walk and there was like jazz, rock, blues, like all the bars had something
going on. Yeah.
So like the venue thing, man. Like I've always wondered, are there a lot of venues in El Paso, or is it like kind of like seizing up where there's not growing as much, or he's got the Rock House, which is doing real well.
Yeah,
that's the main one.
That's the main one, and then he's opening up a bigger one for the bigger acts. So he's trying to attract bigger acts.
Beautiful.
Because that's one of the reasons. Because once we lost the one downtown Tricky Falls, we lost
to abundant living
a big venue that was bringing in those slightly higher elevated bands, and
I know there's a spot like around Cielo Vista. I just went to a Birthday Massacre. Forgot what the venue was called.
Yeah, Sun something, right?
Yeah, I think it's like right across from Cielo Vista.
It used to be called Raves. Now it's called Sun.
Oh yeah, Raves.
Sun City or something.
That's because every all the venues changed. I'm pretty sure because you've been you've been around. But like Cantina La Tuya, that's when I fucking started going to shows, and now it's Handlebars, which there's no shows at Handlebars. King's X was like another huge one that like slowed down. So,
but a lot of those are like
they're bars
that cater towards more of the cover bands.
But even Christian bands went to like those churches and I like those Christian churches, and I saw a lot of bands there because like they're metal. They were just Christian with metal, but they're not. We don't even have those anymore. Like that shit kind of died down like a lot from like what we had, back in like the early 2000s, dude. Because even what's it called? The fucking Northeast, dude. Wow, what the fuck is it called? Horror Bar. Fucking Horror Bar. The House of Rock and Roll.
The horror.
But like not House of Rock and Roll over here on the Viscount.
Yeah.
So we had all these venues where I saw all these bands, and Tricky Falls was one of the biggest ones. And then we even had bigger ones, which was Club 101 was one of the bigger ones.
We used to bring in pretty cool stuff.
We opened there for like a bunch of bands, and when they were in Airway, and the warehouse was so huge you would never get full, dude. It always looked empty because it was so fucking huge. Like it was. We had a lot of people, but it's still.
You're talking about the one on Airways?
On Airway, that was the biggest.
Yeah, that was bigger. Yeah.
We opened there for Taking Back Sunday, the very first show they ever had there. And dude, it was like fucking. We couldn't. I was like, what the fuck is this?
Wow.
Yeah. And they sucked. So.
There was a House of Rock also on Mesa, right?
That one on Viscount. I don't remember if it's there. It's because they all had like some little thing. Because the horror bar was called the House of Rock and Roll. Mm-hmm. That's why it was a horror bar.
Yeah.
And then House of Rock was just called the House of Rock. And I think there was another one, the House.
The Rock House.
Yeah, the Rock House.
Oh, the Rock House.
Yeah. So there's like too many fucking, And the House of Rock was actually pretty cool. That one was run by the singer of Cowboys from El Paso. Back in
Matt.
Yes. So he was running there, but it always kind of like.
Where was that one at?
Right there on Viscount.
It's the old Cedars. Whatever. It was a restaurant at one point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. We
that one was a cool place.
Yeah, it was a really nice place.
And it was pretty big. We opened for a lot of bands there.
Same here.
I knew I had to get you guys together because you guys know what the hell has been going on the music scene for a long time, and it's really interesting to me, man. And it bums me out that a lot of these venues are kind of not open again, and it's like
it's because people don't go out anymore.
Yeah.
So like now with technology and shit, you can fucking stream a concert on YouTube like nothing, and with good sound and shit, and it's not the same.
Yeah.
But kids nowadays kind of feel like it's the same. Like why would they leave the comfort of their house, and go stand? Because if you even go to a show now, you see them just standing around, like not really like.
That's an El Paso thing.
Shit.
And not to be negative, I played in a lot of cities. That's an El Paso thing.
Yeah, see, we've had this
They just go and they just stand there. And
that's like really weird to me though, cause like we had a DVD recording back, and it's on YouTube. You can fucking check this shit. But like when I was in a band called The Endless Life, there was a DVD recording of this label called Soul Not Psyched here. And they asked us to come out on the DVD, and they would just record like a couple songs, put it on the DVD, whatever. Mm-hmm. And I remember, plus like not a lot of people knew us. We were just a punk band, like straight up punk. Mm-hmm. Not too trashy. I thought we were a little bit more melodic, so like you could tell, verse, chorus, and shit, not just like
yeah,
whatever. So when we did that show, like the people there were fucking like they were doing like circle pits and like they were singing, because a lot of our especially punk is repetitive, so they would learn it like just let it go, freaking they would learn it and they would sing it. Nice. And that was the first time that they saw us ever. Damn. But they were like fucking, and you can see it there on the YouTube. They're there, and I feel like now it doesn't happen.
No, the punk shows were great.
I went to see Michael Graves at Rock House, for example, and a lot of people are just fucking standing there, and even like people our age. I feel okay, I'm tired. I can't fucking like do circle pits anymore. I'll fucking fall and shit. But at least I'm like right up front fucking singing the songs and shit.
Yeah.
Like I'll lose my voice and shit.
Oh man.
I think like people our age are more into going to a sit down bar and having a beer and maybe listening to a cover band. And then the younger audience are more into like electronic music, so they rather go see a DJ.
I see.
At a nightclub.
I actually think that they kind of moved on from like the
electronic. Yeah, thank God. Yes.
I think they're more into
and at our shows we're beginning to see more younger.
But
audience.
This is what I like.
That's what I'm talking about, man.
So artists, even if we don't like these artists, I like Post Malone though. But even if we don't like these artists like Machine Gun Kelly, Post Malone, like all these little artists that are here and there that are like rappers, like emo, trap, all that shit. All these people, they did this shit, became huge, and then they showed what they liked growing up. Right. So Machine Gun Kelly like grew up listening to Blink, so now like kids are listening to Blink.
Yeah. Good.
So like Post Malone is like, well, I'm a country guy, and I like all this like old fucking country shit, and I'm a metal guy, and I like Nirvana, and all these kids are listening to all that shit.
Yeah, and the last couple of teaching high school, you started to see the kids wearing, Nirvana shirt or Green Day. Yeah. And it's coming back slowly. It's not coming back. It's getting better.
Well, and my daughter I remember the first time because my daughter listens to basically all the mainstream shit, but sometimes. She comes to me and hey, like, have you heard of the Smiths? And I'm like, fuck yes, I've heard of the Smiths. And he's like, I'm into it. But I just leave it at that because, you know, once you show interest, they don't like it.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm always like, listen to them and shit. Like, I'll. Because the first time that she made me fucking proud was that because this is one of my favorite bands was Bauhaus. I love fucking Bauhaus. Nice, and she wanted a vinyl of Bauhaus, and I was like, holy shit.
Without telling her, man.
But I was like, here's a vinyl, just listen to it. And the picture in it, it's a guy with a trumpet, and he has his penis out and shit. But my wife was like, what the fuck? I was like, it's art. Who cares, man? It's just art. And my daughter was like, it's just like, I don't even fucking like it. I just like the music. I was like, all right.
Well, that's inspiring, man, that the new generation is gonna maybe come out and start a band.
They might have bands like that because I have seen TikToks where like these kids are doing like new grunge bands.
Nice.
And they're like heavy. They're like
yeah, though. It looks like it's getting better.
Good.
You know.
I only talk shit about one genre, and that's reggaeton, and I fucking hate it.
Every time.
It's fine. It's fine.
I'm not familiar with that.
Well, you're not, but I am, man.
He hates it, bitch.
Like I remember, like before, you know, growing up, we were like put on that record, you know, and then write down the lyrics, and then most of the time you're writing it down wrong.
Maybe if you were lucky, getting like some tabs. From Ultimate Guitar and shit.
Yeah, maybe.
And that was like, if in that issue they covered
of that shit just so we can get the lyrics.
Because my brother used to have like the Ultimate Guitar for like Dimebag Darrell, like Pantera. But that was all you had. You couldn't go into the internet and like look for them.
Right.
Or at the beginning of the tabs, you could go and like the person who wrote them wrong. Mm-hmm. And you're playing and you're like, what? This sounds like shit.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a lot easier. And then you got YouTube that shows you how to play whatever you want to learn.
There's all these resources.
So, yeah, it's a lot easier, and I think.
And the kids that learn really well, they're teachers now at school.
That's true.
Because like my cousin, he learned how to play piano. He learned how to he went to the university and shit, and now he's teaching kids. But the thing is, he grew up listening to Metallica, Nirvana, Pantera, you know, Blink. He's my age, so he listened to all these things. So now he's incorporating that with the kids.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just being, you know, like as always, like the fucking Def Leppard and like fucking Deep Purple and shit. You know, like it was always the same kind of thing. Yeah. But now we're moving on.
Yeah. And then I have a friend of mine, Pepe. He's the drummer for King. He opened up a school of rock here, and they teach kids.
Is it Let There Be Rock?
How to let there be? No, it's something like that.
Oh, okay.
And they teach kids how to be in a band.
Oh, real band, man. Musicality and all.
Drums, electric, singing, the whole bit.
I started.
And now it's doing so well that he just opened up one on the east side.
Oh, yeah.
Before MTV, we didn't have a way to really know about our idols just from what we would read
they were just
in
musicians.
A magazine, you know, and that's it. You know, the mystery had, because I remember getting the album, putting it on, and just looking at the album cover, studying it, the liner notes, the lyrics, you know, for hours, and then flip it over and do the same thing, and you know, and it's just
it's all there now.
I used to buy CDs and like read all all the thank yous from each member, because remember they used to put like Steve's thank yous and then like all the. But I remember the one that I remember the most was this band called The Unseen. They're like a punk band, like the Casualties kind of, and they had a cover that I love, the Painted Black from the Rolling Stones. If I remember Rolling Stone. But in the liner and the fucking thank yous, the drummer, he put like, and thank you to the guy that donated the first act drum set that we used for this record. The first act, it was like one of those like that they sold at Walmart and shit.
Toys R Us.
But I was like, that's fucking badass.
First act.
The first act. I always remember that fucking, because I was like, fuck, that's fucking badass. Especially if you were that kid. It's like, fuck yeah, I got in there.
There it is.
But like, that punk mentality too, because I wanted to talk about that. Like, you know, a lot of metal bands, punk bands, you know how they go like, oh, they're sellouts now. I'm like, that's why we do it, you know?
Yeah.
We not like to be fucking millionaires, but at least to make a living out of something that we love.
Sell merchandise, sell your music. It's
because it's so stupid.
Business,
that it's like, oh, you want me to be in a band and just be poor, like the whole fucking time.
And stuff, no.
Like what? Also, you don't want me to sell records? Like you want to be the only fan of us? Like it's so stupid, and because they attacked the Casualties in Juarez, this other band. And it's on the DVD. They attacked them. They opened for them first, and then they fucking attacked them, saying that they were like a capitalist and all this shit.
Oh my god!
And he said, the singer, he's from Ecuador. He was like, "You need to make money.
Absolutely.
Like you need to fucking keep this shit, you know." So I get it. So
especially now, that's the truth.
Our guitarist Mike, he did a painting on the Rhythm Pigs. Are you familiar with the Rhythm Pigs? They're like the biggest punk band that made it out of El Paso. Well, besides At the Drive-In.
Oh, like punk band? Yeah, but At the Drive-In's not punk. So
but they were doing really well, and they moved to San Francisco to make it big. Anyways, he did a painting on one of the guitar cases back then because he's from the punk scene. Well, they opened up a museum in Las Vegas of punk memorabilia. They just opened up in January, and this January, and the Rhythm Pigs are part of that, and they had asked our guitarist if he can recreate that same painting on the thing, so we can put it in the museum. What's that band, that punk band that just barely broke up? The big one with Big Mike or I forgot his
Fat
name.
Mike?
Fat Mike.
No Effects?
Yeah,
well, they haven't broken up, but
he's the one that opened up the.
Oh yeah! Oh yeah! I've heard of it. Yeah. That's because Fat Mike is really into like the history of like punk rock and shit.
Yeah.
He's really good with that. I don't know if you've read his book, but it's amazing, right? Like, it's one of the best fucking books, especially if you knew like punk bands, you know, like from back in the day. They went through like a lot of shit. Like you think sometimes like we go through shit, they went through a lot of shit. Like a lot of drugs, a lot of like debts and shit, and I'm just like, fuck. Dude.
Yeah, they did it out of for survival.
So there's a lot like a fan died, like in the very beginning, like a fan died because like they beat him up because of their fault and shit. Like, and but what's cool is like the audiobook, they all read their parts. So whoever's like story it is, it's the band member reading it. So, but it's fucking cool. It's sad. It's happy. It's all the fucking things. But I was like, fuck man, this fucking book is amazing. And when like they said No Effects was breaking up, I was like, yeah, like they've been together for so fucking long, dude. Like fuck it, like there's like huge catalog of these guys. Like
did the thing, man.
We don't fucking we really should just let them fucking rest, dude. They're fucking. Because they were heroin addicts and shit, so it's like, come on, dude, like, just let him rest.
Yeah.
I'm sure Fat Mike is gonna keep doing shit, because he has the Cookie the Clown and shit, so he's gonna keep doing it. And he's the owner of Fat Records and shit, so he still has a lot of shit to do, you know? So, but yeah, that's cool, yeah, so that's fucking badass, dude. I want to go to that fucking, is it open yet? I don't even think it's open, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Las Vegas, man.
Yeah, because he just went to the opening of it.
Okay.
He was invited to the opening.
I was trying to think of it like another band that made it out of El Paso, but I'm like, fuck, man. All the bands usually like have a record and they like quit. Cause like the Royalty was one of them. Like they were signed to Victory Records and shit. And then another one was Tonight Is Glory was another one that was like they were like seen whatever, but they kind of like did their record and then like just disappeared.
Well, Pissing Razors had a pretty good run.
I mean, Eddie Razor with Ministry, I guess. Yeah. but Pissing Razors was, I guess they had.
And they're back. They're getting some stuff going on right now.
Yeah, man.
Pissing Razors, man, fuck, man. I just remember, like Eddie, because when we started talking to Eddie and shit, he's like, wow, just record it now.
Yeah.
He's like, I'll just charge you like $100. Alright, fucking just a day, let's do it.
When I was in college, we used to go to the attic all the time. and they wanted a mural done. So me and a buddy of mine, because it was with Danny and Eddie Razor, and they said, well, we can't pay you, but feel free to have whatever beer you want. I think that mural took us like about 2 weeks. We were just gonna drink and then just like, yeah, that's cool. Sorry, Eddie.
The fuck is that squiggly line?
Yeah. And we just stretched it out as much as possible so we could get some free beer.
This is why we don't have venues, man.
That was one of my favorite venues.
Because the fucking freeloaders, like,
they had like on Saturdays they had like a comedy acts from the theater kids at UTEP.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there was this group that would go and do comedy. Like Saturday Night Live.
Yeah, not
skits like
that.
Like
Second City.
Yeah, like an improv.
Like where they start.
Improv, yeah.
Cool.
They did that. The Attic was also like my first solo show for my arts, because we're in college still, and we went and put up all of my stuff and had a little opening, and so it was it was a lot of fun. That was back in the early 90s.
Because where you were saying, like, it's like when you're in the band and then you're like, we're getting paid for this gig, guys. And then when you go and then you talk to the bartender, because like usually the bartender, if it's a small bar, it's like the only one in the place. But it's like, yeah, it's like, and then you go to your band and it's like, hey, well, I have good news and I have bad news. Like, what? Bad news, we're not getting paid. Good news, we can have all the drinks we want. That we're fine, dude. Then let's fucking do it.
Shit, man. See, that's the difference between art and music. I think that happens a lot, right? Because if I were to like take my art and someone didn't pay me for it, I'd be like, well, it's not yours then, man. But you guys are performing, and I bet you that like stories like that happen.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, I guess because I mean I'm not as good as you with painting, but like I've done some painting, but I guess like to me I don't know if to you, but like to me the reward is always like the finished product.
Yeah.
So like when you finish it, you're like, fuck, it came out good, and then showing it to people.
Yeah.
So that's the good part.
Getting eyes on it.
So when you're performing, the whole fucking thing is the good part. Like from the beginning of when you're starting, when you're getting your nerves.
Beautiful, man.
And you're like, fuck again, I'm about to do it. And then like when you pull off something that you were like, I'm gonna fucking throw a stick and shit and catch it or whatever. And when you pull it off, like, it's all reward.
Yeah.
Well, even when you fuck up, at the end you're like, did you fucking see where I fucked up? Yeah, you did. Fuck it.
We know that we fucked up, but
no, they
the
don't.
audience doesn't know.
No, but I mean like with the band. Like when you're talking to the band, like to the guitars, like, I fucked up there. It's like, yeah, you did. I'm like, you did. No, because we used to premiere like songs or whatever. And I remember one of our guitarists, he like stopped playing because I fucked up. But I was like, just fucking keep going. And then he was like, whatever. But like when we talk to people, we're like, well, dude, that song was fucking great.
Yeah, they don't know.
Fucking amazing. I was like, they already have drums, dude. Like, they don't know your songs. Like, fucking keep playing, dude. Who cares? Man. And that's the beauty of it. Like, I go to a live show to see a live show, not to listen to the CD.
Yeah. Spin on it for sure.
That's why I don't like bands that are just like standing there and just fucking playing their songs. I'm like, do something, dude. Move. I mean, don't do Gigi Allen, don't throw shit at me, but but do something.
Yeah. Going back to your question, I think also we're there also to build an audience, so because I think the thrill of having a bigger audience while you play, and the adrenaline goes up a lot, right? It's it's a lot funner, especially if there's chicks in the front, right? But you want to build your audience, you want to sell your music, you want to sell your T-shirts.
Yeah, you hope that people are kind of like.
So even though like especially original bands, there's no money. Every money, everything that you make from merch, you just put it back into it. Or save it for gas.
That's a labor of love.
Because when you're starting too, like CDs are so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
Then like you end up like, okay, what can we sell them for? Like we have to do $5 because like nobody's gonna buy them for like regular price 15, 12.
Right.
So like you have to do $5, so you end up taking a loss.
Yeah.
But the gamble is you're putting your music out.
Yeah.
So nowadays it's so easy that to just fucking do a QR code into your Spotify and
right.
shit. So
yeah, you can sell it easier. Yeah, but we used to do the do-it-yourself kind of thing. We used to like buy the packet of empty CDs.
Yeah, and just fucking,
and burn them.
That's how we did our EP.
And then put a sticker on it, with our information. They used to even sell the little contraption where you put the CD and then the sticker I had, and you like.
Do you remember doing the flyers, dude?
The flyers were fun. I think that's how I got into going to shows. Is because
I used to grab a poster, like a fucking poster of a movie, and then just like get the names of the bands and like cut them like in little squares. Nice. And then like do like.
It was a lot of fun.
And then just go to Kinko's and then do the like four flyers in one page or whatever. And then you were all just cutting.
That was a lot of fun.
I used to do that shit. Dude.
That's the hustle.
And then we just went to the mall or whatever. I was like, hey, go to our show. Hey, go to our show. Go to our show.
I don't know about the mall, but
I went to the mall, but that was because I grew up in the early 2000s, dude. So like malls were like fucking big. Filled up with like high school kids. So it was just like
yeah.
So I mean,
that was a lot of fun. I remember doing it and getting cited for it.
Oh shit!
Really? They gave me a ticket for that.
That's like littering, basically.
Yeah.
It's because they say that when you have flyers, like it's that comedian says, like when you have flyers and you give the flyer to somebody, you're basically saying, here, you throw it away. Here, you throw it away.
And they do. They'll just look at it, crumble it up, and throw it away.
That's tough, man.
But fuck it, it's a gamble. So like that's why you go overboard. So even if they tell you, like oh well the capacity of this place is 300, you're gonna make like fucking 2,000 flyers. Dang. Yeah. And 30 people are gonna show up. Yeah, like so. Because
even with Facebook, right?
Yeah. Facebook RSVP.
You say,
bro,
look, we're gonna get 300 people are coming,
and then two
show up.
Yeah. Man. Where's the 300 people?
I don't even make events anymore.
No, I don't either.
I'll put the flyer out. I'll remind them about the show.
It hyped us up one time. We were like, bro, like. So many fucking dude, what are we gonna do? And then like nobody fucking showed up, dude.
Shit, man.
And I was like, where's all these fucking people? Where are they?
So is that no Paso thing, or is that just
no?
Everywhere?
I think that happens anywhere. Yeah. Because
the
like
Facebook thing.
No, but it's easy to say. It's easy for a person to say I'll be there, and then that day something happens. Yeah. And it's not like a band that like they like right. So it's kind of hard, man.
So,
but then you do have those bars. That have
the regulars
that have a really good following.
Nice. There's people that are like that actually look forward to like seeing new bands, right? And shit. There are those places. Mm-hmm. There are like things like that, but it's I think being a musician is more of a gamble because like you really don't know like what you're showing up to.
Yeah.
Because even when you're going on tour, you could play in a fucking place where like nobody ever goes. And it's fucking packed full of people, and then you go to like fucking Austin and there's nobody. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like just the bartender there, and then the bartender will tell you like that you scared the local.
That happened to us one time in Hollywood, right at the Rabbit Hole, right next door to the what's the name? The whiskey.
Oh, whiskey.
We begged and begged to be on the to get a show there. And they're like, okay, but make sure you guys drink a lot. Because I guess they want to make their money. Because we're from out of town. We're not going to bring anybody there. And sure enough, we get there and nope, we play to the bartender.
Yeah, we played 3 hours one time here in El Paso. The Tequila Garage. We played 3 hours.
I remember that.
They hired us for 3 hours. They told us they were going to give us $300. They paid us $100 because they said that we scared the regulars away. But we were like, that's not my fucking problem. You pay me the $300.
And you guys played the 3 sets?
Yes.
Dang.
Wow. Well, nowadays I think $100 sounds pretty good.
No, I mean, that was like the first time probably that we made money, like being an original band. Because as a cover band, for example, when I had my cover band, we did the 15th anniversary of the Blink-182. We played the whole record beginning to end, and then we like added a few more because I think it's like 40 minutes, and then we added. And I made 300 and something at Neon Rose, which is really small, and I only charged $3. But because we were a cover band, because people were like, I want to listen to the whole Blink album gimmick thing, even if we fucking suck or whatever, I made all that money, and that's why. When I started the cover band, I was like, I'm gonna make this band to make money. because I have a family now. I can't just be fucking touring and losing money.
Right.
Eating like fucking, you know, double cheeseburgers every fucking day because or ramen or whatever because we don't have money. Because one time we played at Austin and we made like $200 and then the guitarist lost the key to the truck. So the fucking locksmith was $200.
Oh.
So we broke even, but it was like, fuck man, like we were gonna make some money. Damn. And just because of some accident, you know, like we got fucked. We had a great show, don't get me wrong. But it gets to a point where you're older and shit that you're just like, fuck man. Because you're away from like your family and shit. Yeah. And then you come back and instead of bringing more money, you're like, well, I broke my snare, so now I'm like out, you know, fucking the $20 that the fucking head cost or whatever. So it's a gamble, like I said. So, but the thrill of it, like once you show up to a place that you've never been, for example, and you see the stage, and you're like, holy shit, that's a big fucking stage. Yeah. Like you get like, fuck man, I wonder if there's gonna be people and shit. Or you show up and you're like, yeah, you're playing right there in the corner with no light on the floor. But we're gonna make the best of it. One time we played in Cruces,
fun though.
And they didn't have light in the place, dude. And we went to Home Depot, bought floodlights, and bought a generator, and then we took it back, like after the show, because they didn't even have. They're like, yeah, there's no lights. I don't know how you guys are gonna do it. And we're like, what the fuck? Yeah. And we went, we bought all that shit, we played the show, we left, and we returned the shit. Because that was the fucking way to do it. Because we're like, we're here, we're gonna play a fucking show. And we fucking played a show.
Well, man, like you guys are scaring me about the music scene, man. Like, is it a lot of like the promoters kind of don't do as good of a job for you guys, or because I'm a marketing person, I've been doing advertising for like.
I think it depends, dude. It depends on the promoter.
Because like, why does that have to fall on the musicians? You know, like you guys do your job. Like
the guy from the Rock House, he does good, no, because he promotes his shit. And he puts posters outside.
Yeah, and you see it on Facebook and.
Depending on the band. Don't get me wrong. Like, I don't think he's gonna put a poster out for like a local band, is he?
You know what? But no, I'm even thinking like just the advertising in me, like to help musicians out, like just for the cause itself of El Paso.
Bro, if they're locals, they're gonna fucking like they're going to like welcome it, dude, because they're not gonna want to be doing that shit themselves.
You might have just hit something there. Why can't you go to one of our gigs and sell your art?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? And we can start collaborating
that's the truth.
Well, that's what I told them.
And then maybe at an opening we'll go and play a half an hour or.
It's because, for example, like
bring both audiences together.
Like for example, like in this.
Let's have a like at a big place. We'll say hey it's an art / concert or whatever.
Man. Yeah, because we all need the audience.
We don't have that.
Man. Yeah.
We don't have shit like
there
that.
It is.
No, but that's what I told him. Like for example, like because he made that for me, the Skeletor, the
Parcator.
Yeah.
So like for example, like merchandising that shit, like just putting that and then putting Metro Podcast in the bottom of a shirt, for example, because it's like, that's like
it's gotta be collaborative.
It's like collaborative. Yeah.
And I think the music scene, I think everyone feels like they're trying to compete or like they're against each other. And
bro, I just make designs.
It is like that.
It is, right?
The bands are like that.
Like me, I just make designs, and then if I like it, dude, fuck it, I'm gonna make it into a t-shirt. And if people don't like it, pues fuck it, they don't like it. And if they like it, they fucking like it, and they're gonna buy it. You know?
Right.
I'm gonna give you a t-shirt right now, by the way.
Yay!
That was shitload. But that's just the way to do it. Just fucking do your shit. You put it out there. If you want like to be part like of a band, you feel like your vibe is kind of with like with them. It's like, here, dude. Like for example, like if you want to like get a band that's like really like folky or whatever, and then like you can tell them like, hey, let me make you like a loteria card, but like
that you can sell and
shit, and they can be like, and they're gonna tell you, dude, fuck yeah.
Or you can even do put like Ojo Malo on a print with your artwork on it.
Yes, exactly.
At the show, collaborate something like that.
That's what they do, but I think you should just do it instead of before asking, because like the design is not gonna go to waste.
Right.
Because all you have to do basically, like when you do your art, is just take away the name or put the name of the band that you're doing it for.
Exactly, man.
So like even if it doesn't sell for the band, you can sell it as its own thing, just with something else.
But even that, like I'm thinking, we gotta help each other out. Like the music scene, the art scene. Like this.
But it's a two-way street, so that's why I'm saying, like, you want to help, but do they want to help?
Yeah,
so once they welcome it, fucking let's do it.
I think so.
I think so too.
The scene is...
Oh, because I was going to ask...
I don't think there's a... Well, I'm not familiar, but I don't think I've ever seen a community of artists and musicians collaborating together like that.
I think there used to be collectives. I think not that long ago. I feel like those collectives kind of thing started dying off maybe like 5 or 6 years ago.
But with musicians or like with both?
With both. There was a place called the Rambling Gallery, and they had like paintings and all that stuff, and then bands could go play there. So it was like an art place and the brick house too. But like bands went there, they could put their art too. So like if the singer was like a painter and shit, they could put it while they were
beautiful,
playing.
Man.
So and they could sell like so. Those were the art collectives, but a lot of those things kind of started dying down for whatever reason. The Rambling Gallery closed, fucking Brick House closed. So like all these, I think that was like more or like in that time where like the hipsters were kind of like out because it's like the real artsy people.
The early 2000s.
Yeah, so that's fucking badass. I really had a fucking nice time talking about music and shit. I feel like we don't have a lot. I have a lot of musicians, but they're like a lot younger than you, so they talk to me a lot about like Ed Sheeran and shit like that. And I'm just like, well, I don't know anything about Ed Sheeran. Sorry.
I just want to make sure. See, I ask every like person that I bring in here. It's like, what is it about El Paso that like formed you and like that you see is different from like any other city? You know, like what makes it special?
Mexican.
The people.
Yeah.
The people. I mean, I moved away, but I always end up coming back. And this is a great spot for
it's a mixed
for
culture,
a mix of culture of Juarez and El Paso and Las Cruces. And, you know, everything is just.
But it's like we're not Mexican,
you know?
But we're not American either.
He asked me, and not really. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Come on, it's some Mexican speaking English.
Yeah. Yeah. The mountains. You know, I remember at one point my wife wanted to move to Austin. And
me too, man.
Yeah, a lot of us, right? Well, not anymore, right?
No.
It's really bad now.
No, I love it here.
But I said, let me take you to Austin. So I took her, and she's like, it's too flat. I feel lost. Where's the mountain? You know, and like you're right. It does feel weird not having that mountain. Yeah. Anyway, but you know, the culture, like you were saying, is incredible here.
What about the attitude of people? Because when I went to Dallas, I would say thank you, and they wouldn't say thank you.
It's you know, I still think like Las Cruces and New Mexico, they have like the friendliest people. You know, they're always, you go, you know, to Hatch and everybody's waving at you. You know,
well, they're fucking stoners.
They are now.
Yeah.
Right. But
they've always been.
Like
a fucking kid around.
Yeah, but it's a really nice laid back place. It's a perfect place to raise a family, you know. Yeah, we don't have, you know, a million things to do like other bigger cities, but you know, if you look for it, you know, there's always something to do.
Passionate people, and we're different.
Bro, we have Lucha Libre in Juarez and over here. We have like 2 leagues here. We have in Juarez AAA still going around. We have everything. We have
roller derby.
We had 2 roller derby.
Yeah.
Remember? We have a lot of things. We have hockey. A lot of people know about hockey.
Yeah.
We have baseball. You know, maybe we don't have football or whatever, but you can find pretty much anything that you want.
Yeah.
You just need to look for it.
Yeah, you do.
See,
but
you know,
we're talking about like the music scene. You know, I met Steve through art. You know, and for me, like the art scene's exploded. You know, like it really has, and like there's events every weekend.
Well, you're right in it, so
yeah, like it's growing, man. It really is growing. And then meeting Steve, I was like, this guy's incredibly talented. Like El Paso has this special, like something going on that if we do coalesce and bring it to the music scene and we help each other out, like I think
we could do something big,
man.
Special.
Like, there's some special people here,
and El Paso would be a good place.
Bro, Hector G, shout out to that guy.
Man,
he's doing it.
Yeah, man, everyone's doing it, and this was a cool conversation, but it did let me see that, you know, the music, it's a passion, and you all do it for that, for the love of the art.
Yeah.
But you all deserve to have like a bigger audience, and
hey, I'm still here doing it by myself with no audience.
right? But it's like, cause you
with
guys,
headphones on, because not even gonna hear me.
because you gotta have a side hustle, man. You really do, and it is tough. Just like the art scene, you gotta have your side hustle and be dedicated to it. But
I always like meeting other musicians that had shows here, that did shit here, because I feel like our shows are not like the same as in other places too.
Yeah.
Especially you growing up here and doing the shows as it's going till now.
Yeah.
I haven't done shows now. It's been a while since I lost my vision, basically almost. But me doing all those shows too, growing up, going from like a fucking mediocre punk band to like playing the Coliseum, dude. So like doing big shit. Like it lets me see too that like people did have the drive to like fucking go to shows and shit like that.
Yeah.
And you just have to find it now. It just sucks that venues don't last long because a lot of people don't go. The Rock House has lasted, I think, like already a lot.
Good for them.
But it's just, you used to just go like, let's go to a show. Okay, let's go to Chicks. Let's go, to Tricky Falls. You would always find a show, and now it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But now you have to like really look for that shit.
So like, COVID must have done a lot of that, like scared.
It was
people
already
off.
going down before COVID.
It had been going down before.
Yeah.
You would have a show, not a lot of people.
COVID killed it, but it was already going down.
But now, after COVID, everything came back with a vengeance because everybody wanted to be out.
Yeah.
I think so.
But it's I think like we're saying, it's a new generation that's gonna have to like really step it up and start appreciating.
They're gonna
things
do it.
again.
They're gonna.
I do think
Somebody
so,
will.
man. They're real open,
No, they're gonna do it because I see a lot of kids like playing drums, playing guitar, doing art, doing a lot of shit that I'm just like super impressed because when I was a kid I couldn't do any of those things. I mean,
they have
like
the tools, man. They have the tools to really do like something for sure.
I'm telling you, a
Especially
drum
music,
set like this back in the day when I was growing up, a drum set like that probably was like thousands and thousands of dollars.
Right.
Now it's not. It was like $500.
It's available. It's possible,
So now it's like super possible to just fucking do it at your house.
Yeah.
I can record, which I'm doing. I'm gonna record everything here.
Same as with the art, like there's, you can do it on the computer, like you can make art, like you don't need all these paints and all that kind of stuff. Like we do, you burn wood and stuff, but it's available for the kids.
We get bored easily too. So. I do little projects too.
Well, man, see, like honestly, that's the truth, man. When I see young kids at the art shows, it makes me happy.
Yeah.
So if you're seeing like younger people going to the music stuff, that's beautiful too.
Yeah.
But if we can draw them together, like do this art stuff, like, you do.
Yeah.
Let's do it. I'm trying to
Right
do
on.
that shit with the fucking Nitro podcast
The
right
podcast,
here.
man, like, honestly,
Trying
like
to bring
you,
people.
dude, yeah.
One of the biggest fucking shows we had was Ricky O, and it was like, it's a fucking movie from like back in the 80s,
Yeah.
Japanese movie, anime, fucking weird shit that we just did because we're like, this movie's weird, and then everybody like saw this fucking episode, and we're like, holy shit.
God, man, we gotta reach out to these kids, man, because even the last one you just did that got like 100, it was the review for the Ninja Turtle game.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so it's like, we gotta reach out to these
It's a
kids,
fucking
man.
cassette, look right there.
There it is, man.
And then Chuco brought the Chucky.
The Chucky, man. Chuco Chamuco. Well, Steve knows everybody, man. He's been to every art show. He's always there. I consider him like the shaman of the art scene, man. He's just so chill.
I told him that I
Good
wanted
person.
to do like a live show with the podcast and shit. Maybe we can get you in there. We'll get all the artists.
Oh yeah, like the live show, man.
Everybody collaborating, bands, fucking, just podcasting, fucking everything.
Yeah,
Let's
man.
do it.
See, we gotta.
But with that
Takes a
said,
lot.
thank you guys for fucking joining us again. Thank you guys.
Man.
It was a cool fucking conversation. Like I said,
Awesome.
I love having musicians too. Just because, I'm a musician myself, primarily, because I know like I'm here and like, you're just blind, Sean.
No, you are.
No, so yeah, I'm a musician first. I do love. I grew up with a artsy father, so
Yeah.
thanks to him. But thank you, Juan. Thank you, Steve. Go check out
Ojo
Ojo
Malo.
Malo. Go check out Ojo
Check
Malo.
out his art too. This is the premier freaking wood burning artist in the freaking region in America. He's incredibly talented. He's shown in New York, ladies and gentlemen. He's sold in New York. Honestly, I can't say enough about Steve.
I'll put some of your stuff on
Yeah, man. Let them
everybody
see.
can see it.
Follow him on Instagram. What's your Instagram, brother?
Salazarte one.
Salazarte. Check that out, man.
And check out his too.
Juan
Ornelas art.
Yeah, simple.
And check our podcast out, Night Truck Podcast,
Check
on all
the
social
podcast.
media, on fucking TikTok, on Instagram, on Facebook, everywhere. And hopefully we can have you back.
Yeah.
We can have some more music conversation, maybe like a listening party or some shit.
There you go.
When your album comes out, man.
Yeah.
So
We can critique every song.
Oh,
I can be
yeah.
like, that. I don't like that song, man.
You sure
I'm
can.
just kidding.
I guarantee you,
That'd be fun.
Yeah, when you guys release that album and you do an event, we're gonna make sure and push it, man.
Right on.
You just gotta give me permission to play it on shit, because I don't want to get copyrighted.
No.
Take
That'd
it
be
down
awesome.
and shit.
No, we're collaborating. What other thing?
There you go. We're collaborating. All right.
All right. Thanks, guys.
So thank you guys for joining us. We'll see you on the next episode.
Yes.
Later, bitch.
Ah,